The next tool is the oral reading passage. In this tool, we are trying to measure the child's fluency in reading known words. We're not trying to gauge their comprehension, just their ability to read naturally and fluently. You may have come across similar tools titled word count per minute. That's what we're measuring here. We're trying to isolate their fluency in reading. This is a timed tool. The student version is also going to be used. You'll put this student version on the table between both you and the pupil, and you'll set your timer to 60 seconds. Show the pupil the sheet in the student's stimulus booklet as you read the instructions. It looks like this. If a pupil hesitates or stops on a word for 3 seconds, you're going to say, go on. For example, we made a big mistake. We went for a... Here you would intervene and you'll say, go on, and point to this word, on the beach. If the pupil does not provide a single correct word before the word in the box, say thank you and discontinue this tool by answering yes. Pupil did not provide any correct words. Finish this tool and click next. So, for example, we made. Don't know what that is. And they don't give you any correct responses before this. Then it's pointless to get them to try and read the rest of the words. Equally, you will not ask any comprehension questions, which is in tool 6, where we're looking at reading comprehension. So if they're not able to read any of the words before the box on this tool, this will be the end of the diagnostic. If a pupil says, I don't know, you will mark as incorrect. Start the timer and say begin. As with all of the other tools, we are not testing them on their ability to understand spoken English instructions, so you can use the BM version here. The English version is, here is a short story. I want you to read it aloud, quickly but carefully. When you finish, I will ask you some questions about what you have read. When I say begin, read the story as best you can. If you come to a word that you don't know, go on to the next word. Put your finger on the first word. Ready? Begin. This is you asking the child to put their finger on the first word. If the child is able to provide at least one correct word before the box, he'll continue with this tool. And like the other timed tools, you have the same 3 measures that we are going to record here. To help you, we have numbered the words. So here's 10, 20, 30, and 40. You'll note that this slider has up to 40 words. And for our example, imagine that the child read up to knees. So this would be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So 28 is the total number. But let's also assume that they made some errors and they did not read walk correctly, they did not read waves correctly, and they did not read stormy correctly. So that's 3 mistakes. So it would be, what did we say? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So let's say 27 minus 3 would be 24. How many words did the pupil read incorrectly in 60 seconds? This was 3. And again, there's a note here to remind you to record this as the incorrect words, not the rest of the words that they didn't attempt. These are not counted. Finally, in our example, the pupil will have used all 60 seconds, but you can easily imagine a child can read all of this in 60 seconds if they're able to read fluently. We made a big mistake. We went for a walk on the beach. It became very stormy. In theory, they could finish in 10 or 15 seconds. When you have finished, click next.